I didn't expect this to happen, and honestly, it caught me off guard. After years recommending magnesium glycinate to patients, I decided to track what actually happens when you take it consistently for 30 days. Not just the first few days, but what changes after your body fully adapts to it. At first, nothing dramatic, just small shifts, slightly better sleep, muscles feeling a bit more relaxed, easy to ignore. But then something started to change, deeper than I expected. By the second and third week, the body begins to respond differently, not just calmer, but more stable. Nerve signals feel smoother. Muscle tension starts to release in a way that feels natural, not forced. And that's when I realized most people stop too early, before these changes even begin. But here's the part no one talks about. Magnesium glycinate doesn't just add magnesium. It changes how your body regulates itself over time. Your sleep patterns shift, your muscle recovery improves, even how your body handles stress starts to feel different. I've seen patients take it for a few days and give up, thinking it's not doing much. But when you follow it through, the changes build, slowly at first, then noticeably. And the most surprising part, some of these changes are so subtle, you don't recognize them until you suddenly feel different. In this video, we will reveal 6 changes that happen in your body after 30 days of magnesium glycinate, ranked from the least noticeable to the most impactful. And the number 2 is something most people completely overlook, yet it affects how your entire body feels day to day. If you want to understand how this works, I've explained it clearly in the description below. Before we continue, how old are you? I read every comment you leave. Now, let's begin with number 6, because this is where most people first notice something shifting. Number 6. It improves digestion by 30%. One of the first things people notice when they start taking magnesium glycinate daily is that their digestion starts working more smoothly. This is not a coincidence. Magnesium plays a direct role in the muscular contractions of your digestive tract. These contractions are called peristalsis, and they are the wave-like movements that push food through your stomach and intestines. When your magnesium levels are low, these contractions become sluggish and weak. Food moves too slowly through the system, and the result is bloating, discomfort, and constipation. A study published in the European Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that participants who supplemented with magnesium daily experienced a significant improvement in bowel regularity within just 2 weeks. The frequency of complete spontaneous bowel movements increased by roughly 30% compared to baseline. Now, what makes magnesium glycinate especially interesting for digestion is the glycine component. Glycine is an amino acid that has been shown to support the production of stomach acid and bile, both of which are essential for properly breaking down food. A study published in the World Journal of Gastroenterology found that glycine supplementation protected the gut lining against damage caused by oxidative stress, reducing markers of intestinal inflammation by approximately 18% over a 4-week period. This matters because a healthier gut lining means better nutrient absorption and less chronic irritation in the intestinal walls. Many people who switch to magnesium glycinate from other forms like magnesium citrate or magnesium oxide report that they no longer experience the cramping or loose stools that those other forms commonly cause. This is because the glycinate form is far gentler on the stomach. It does not draw excess water into the intestines the way citrate does. The bioavailability of magnesium glycinate is significantly higher than oxide, meaning more of it enters your bloodstream and less of it irritates your gut. For best results, take your magnesium glycinate with a meal. This slows the absorption just enough to be easy on the stomach and allows the glycine to work alongside your natural digestive enzymes. A dose of 200 to 400 milligrams per day is what most studies have used. Start at the lower end for the first week and gradually increase. Within the first 30 days, most people report feeling lighter after meals, less bloated in the evenings, and far more regular. Your gut is the foundation of your entire health, and this simple mineral correction can make it function the way it was designed to. And that improvement in your gut is just the beginning, because the next change affects something you use every single day. But before we continue, if you have been enjoying the video so far, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss more videos like this. Number 5. It reduces muscle cramps by 50%. If you have ever been jolted awake at night by a painful cramp in your calf or felt your neck and shoulders locked in a state of constant tightness, low magnesium is very likely part of the problem. Magnesium is essential for muscle relaxation. Every time a muscle contracts, calcium flows into the muscle cells. To release that contraction, magnesium must flow in and push the calcium back out. When you do not have enough magnesium, your muscles get stuck in a semi-contracted state. This is what creates that persistent tightness in your back and those sudden cramps that seem to come out of nowhere. A randomized controlled trial published in the journal Nutrients studied older adults who experienced frequent leg cramps. After 4 weeks of magnesium supplementation, the group taking magnesium experienced a dramatic reduction in the frequency of nighttime leg cramps. The cramp episodes dropped by nearly 50% compared to the placebo group, which is almost half the cramps eliminated in just 1 month. Another study published in the Journal of Sports Science and Medicine found that magnesium supplementation reduced muscle soreness after eccentric exercise by roughly 25%. This happens because magnesium helps clear lactate from muscle tissue more efficiently and reduces the inflammatory response that follows intense physical activity. When magnesium levels are adequate, your body processes metabolic waste faster and recovery improves dramatically. Magnesium glycinate is particularly effective here because of how well it is absorbed into muscle tissue. A comparative absorption study published in the Journal of the American College of Nutrition showed that chelated forms of magnesium, like glycinate, had bioavailability rates roughly 80% higher than magnesium oxide. That means the magnesium actually reaches your muscles instead of passing through your system unused. This difference in absorption is enormous when it comes to real-world results. To maximize the muscle relaxation benefits, take your magnesium glycinate in the evening about 1 hour before bed. This timing allows the mineral to reach peak blood levels right when your muscles need to fully relax for sleep. You can also pair it with gentle stretching to amplify the effect. Within 30 days of consistent daily use, most people notice a dramatic drop in nighttime cramps, less tension in their neck and shoulders, and a general sense of physical looseness that they may not have felt in years. Your muscles are begging for this mineral, and once they finally get enough of it, you will feel the difference very quickly. Now that your muscles are finally able to relax, wait until you hear what starts happening inside your brain. Number 4. It restores sleep quality by 40%. Sleep is where your body heals, your brain consolidates memories, and your cells regenerate. Without quality sleep, everything else in your health suffers, and magnesium glycinate may be one of the most effective natural tools for improving it. Magnesium activates the parasympathetic nervous system. This is the branch of your nervous system responsible for calming your body down and preparing it for rest. It does this by regulating neurotransmitters like GABA, which is the brain chemical that quiets neural activity and tells your mind it is time to stop racing. A double-blind clinical trial published in the Journal of Research in Medical Sciences gave older adults 500 milligrams of magnesium daily for 8 weeks. The results were striking. The magnesium group experienced significant improvements in sleep time and sleep efficiency. Their sleep onset latency, which is how long it takes to fall asleep, decreased meaningfully. Most importantly, their serum melatonin concentration increased while their serum cortisol, the stress hormone that keeps you alert, significantly decreased. The overall sleep quality scores improved by roughly 40% compared to the placebo group. But here is where the glycine part becomes especially powerful. A study published in the journal Sleep and Biological Rhythms found that 3 grams of glycine taken before bedtime improved subjective sleep quality and reduced daytime sleepiness significantly. Participants reported feeling approximately 25% more satisfied with their sleep and woke up feeling noticeably more refreshed. Glycine works by lowering core body temperature, which is a critical trigger that tells your brain to initiate deep sleep. So when you take magnesium glycinate, you are getting a double benefit. The magnesium calms your nervous system, and the glycine cools your body for deeper sleep stages. This means more time in slow-wave sleep, which is the phase where human growth hormone is released and tissue repair happens at its peak. For the best sleep results, take your magnesium glycinate about 60 to 90 minutes before your intended bedtime. Keep the dose between 300 and 400 milligrams. Avoid taking it with high-dose calcium supplements at the same time because calcium and magnesium compete for absorption pathways. Over the course of 30 days, many people report falling asleep faster, waking up fewer times during the night, and feeling genuinely refreshed in the morning instead of groggy. If you have struggled with sleep for years, this one change might be the missing piece you did not know you needed. Better sleep alone would be worth it, but the next change on this list is something that affects your emotional world in a very real way. Number 3. It lowers anxiety by 31%. Mental health is one of the areas where magnesium glycinate truly shines, and the research behind it is remarkably strong. Magnesium has a direct relationship with your stress response system, specifically the hypothalamic-pituitary-adrenal axis, which is the network that controls how much cortisol your body pumps out when you feel threatened or overwhelmed. When magnesium is low, this system becomes overactive. It starts releasing cortisol at higher levels and more frequently than necessary. You feel on edge, irritable, and anxious even when there is no real danger present. A systematic review published in the journal Nutrients in 2017 analyzed 18 different studies on magnesium and anxiety. The review concluded that magnesium supplementation had a measurably positive effect on subjective anxiety, with anxiety scores improving by approximately 31% in supplemented groups. Participants who took magnesium reported feeling noticeably calmer within just the first 2 weeks of supplementation. Another study published in PLOS1 found that adults with low magnesium intake had a significantly higher prevalence of depression symptoms. When the data was analyzed, those in the lowest magnesium intake group had roughly a 20% greater likelihood of developing depressive symptoms compared to those meeting recommended intake levels. The glycine component adds another powerful layer here. Glycine acts as an inhibitory neurotransmitter in the central nervous system. A study published in Neuropsychopharmacology showed that glycine modulates NMDA receptor activity in the brain. These receptors are involved in how your brain processes fear and stress signals. When they are overactive, you feel anxious and overwhelmed. Glycine helps bring them back into balance by acting as a co-agonist that prevents overstimulation. Research in the journal Acta Psychiatrica Scandinavica found that glycine supplementation reduced psychological distress markers measurably in participants within just 4 weeks. To get the most anti-anxiety benefit from magnesium glycinate, consistency is absolutely critical. Take it every day at the same time. Many practitioners recommend splitting the dose into 2, taking half in the morning and half in the evening, to maintain stable blood levels throughout the day. Pair your supplementation with simple deep breathing exercises for 5 minutes daily, and the combined effect on your nervous system is amplified significantly. Over 30 days, people consistently report feeling a sense of calm they describe as a weight being lifted. The racing thoughts slow down and the tightness in the chest eases. This is not a sedative, and it will not make you drowsy during the day. It simply brings your nervous system back to baseline, where it was always supposed to be functioning. That emotional calm you are now feeling sets the stage perfectly for the next change, which is happening deep inside your bones right now. Number 2. It strengthens bones by 2% per 100 milligrams. Most people think of calcium when they think about bone health. And while calcium is important, without magnesium it cannot do its job properly. Magnesium is directly involved in the activation of vitamin D, and without active vitamin D your body cannot absorb calcium efficiently. So you could be taking calcium supplements every day and still losing bone density simply because your magnesium levels are too low for that calcium to actually reach your bones. A major study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition followed over 2,000 participants and found that higher magnesium intake was associated with significantly greater bone mineral density in both men and women. Specifically, every 100 milligram increase in daily magnesium intake was linked to approximately a 2% increase in whole-body bone mineral density. That may sound small, but compounded over years, it represents a meaningful reduction in fracture risk that adds up substantially. Another landmark study published in the European Journal of Epidemiology followed over 73,000 postmenopausal women and found that those with the lowest magnesium intake had a significantly higher risk of fractures. Women in the lowest intake group showed up to a 30% greater risk of forearm and wrist fractures compared to those consuming adequate amounts. That is a dramatic difference driven by just one mineral. Magnesium also plays a role in regulating parathyroid hormone, which controls how much calcium is pulled from your bones into your blood. When magnesium is low, parathyroid hormone becomes overactive and starts leaching calcium from your skeletal system to maintain blood calcium levels. This accelerates bone loss over time and is one of the hidden drivers of osteoporosis. Magnesium glycinate is especially good for bone health because its high absorption rate means more magnesium actually makes it into the bone matrix where it is needed most. To support your bones most effectively, take magnesium glycinate alongside vitamin D3 and vitamin K2. Vitamin D helps absorb the calcium. Vitamin K2 directs that calcium into your bones instead of your arteries, and magnesium activates the entire process. A dose of 300 to 400 milligrams of magnesium glycinate daily combined with 2,000 international units of vitamin D3 and 100 micrograms of K2 is a well-studied combination. Weight-bearing exercise like walking or light resistance training amplifies the benefits even further by stimulating bone-forming cells called osteoblasts. Within 30 days, you will not see bone density changes on a scan, but the biochemical processes that build and protect your bones will already be shifting in the right direction. After 3 to 6 months of consistent supplementation, measurable improvements begin to appear on lab work and bone density markers. Everything so far has been powerful, but the number one change on this list is the one that could literally save your life. Number 1. It cuts heart failure risk by 22%. The single most important change that happens in your body after 30 days of magnesium glycinate is the profound improvement in your cardiovascular system. Your heart is the most magnesium-dependent muscle in your entire body. It beats roughly 100,000 times per day, and every single one of those beats requires magnesium to maintain a proper electrical rhythm. When magnesium is low, the heart becomes vulnerable to arrhythmias, which are irregular heartbeats that can range from harmless flutters to life-threatening events. A landmark meta-analysis published in the journal BMC Medicine analyzed data from over 1 million participants across 40 different studies. The findings were extraordinary. Researchers discovered that for every 100 milligram per day increase in dietary magnesium, the risk of heart failure decreased by 22% and the risk of stroke decreased by 7%. In that same analysis, the risk of developing type 2 diabetes, which is itself a major cardiovascular risk factor, dropped by 19%. These are enormous risk reductions linked to a single mineral that most people are not getting enough of. Another major study published in the journal Atherosclerosis examined serum magnesium levels and cardiovascular outcomes. The researchers found that individuals with the lowest serum magnesium levels had a significantly elevated risk of developing coronary artery disease compared to those with adequate levels. Magnesium protects the heart in several important ways. It relaxes the smooth muscle cells in blood vessel walls, which lowers blood pressure naturally without medication. A meta-analysis published in the journal Hypertension analyzed over 2,000 participants and found that magnesium supplementation reduced systolic blood pressure by an average of 3 to 4 millimeters of mercury and diastolic pressure by 2 to 3 millimeters of mercury. It also helps reduce inflammatory markers like C-reactive protein, which are directly linked to the buildup of arterial plaque that leads to heart attacks. The glycine in magnesium glycinate contributes additional cardiovascular benefits. Research published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that higher circulating glycine levels in the blood were associated with a more favorable cardiometabolic risk profile. Glycine has anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties that help protect blood vessel walls from oxidative damage, which is the first step in the development of atherosclerosis. For maximum heart health benefits, take magnesium glycinate consistently every day without skipping doses. Pair it with omega-3 fatty acids from fish oil or flaxseed, and a diet rich in potassium from foods like bananas, sweet potatoes, and leafy greens. These nutrients work together synergistically to protect your entire cardiovascular system from multiple angles. After 30 days of daily magnesium glycinate, your blood pressure will already be trending in a healthier direction, your resting heart rate may become more stable and consistent, and the inflammatory processes that drive heart disease will be measurably reduced. This is not a small change. This is your heart finally receiving the mineral it has been desperately needing to function at its best. So there you have it. 6 real science-backed changes that happen inside your body when you take magnesium glycinate every day for 30 days. From smoother digestion and fewer muscle cramps to deeper sleep, lower anxiety, stronger bones, and a healthier heart, this one simple supplement touches nearly every system in your body. The research is clear, the benefits are real, and the best part is that this is something you can start today. If this video helped you understand your health a little better, please subscribe to the channel so you never miss a video like this. Thank you so much for watching.